Good morning. Thank you for joining. To begin with taking a seat. The higher your hips are sitting, the easier it is to sit your spine up straight. So a little bit of support, like a blanket, can make a difference. I'm going to relax the shoulders. I'm feeling the weight of the shoulder blades. Feel the mass of the torso, the connection of your sit bones to the floor. You might not be comfortable in cross legs, but whatever part of your leg is in contact with the floor, taking notice. Good. And we're going to start just making little circles with your head around your shoulders. So when you're forward, your chin is into the chest a little bit, then the right ear, right shoulder, and then your head is reaching back a little and you're looking up. And you don't have to overdo any of those movements. Just noticing what it feels like, if there's any tension in your neck this morning, and then the other direction. Yeah. And then you're going to bring your right ear to your right shoulder and let your head be really nice and heavy. And we're going to try and reach the left hand down to touch the floor. So you get a stretch in the left side of your neck. So right ear, right shoulder, left hand down on the floor. Even if you might not reach the floor. We all have different length arms. Feeling that stretch in the left side. Good. And then we're going to very gently turn the cheek up towards the ceiling. Good. And then coming back to center. So we just start that off, tipping the left ear to the left shoulder. Good. And then take your right arm and reach down towards the floor beside you. Reach out as far as you can. You feel the stretch increase on the right side of your neck. Finding the breath. And the lift of the spine. Good. And then turn your right cheek up to the ceiling. Keep your left ear near your left shoulder. Good work. And then come back to center. We're going to make some gentle spinal wave movement. You don't have to start off really big with these movements. See if you can get every part of your spine to move. Good. And then we're going to come back to center and into all fours. Keep going with your spinal wave movement. If you bend your elbows and take your hips forward and back, you can get a little bit bigger expression of that movement now. Stretch your fingers out wide, even spaces. Press your fingerprints, stretch your thumbs. Elbows are a little bit bent to the side. Good. A little wave. Nice. Hold the front of the body as long as you can to the front torso. Draw the shoulder blades back. Feel now your hands and your knees and your feet in contact with the floor. Breathe into the belly. We've got a back bend in the lower back. Good. And as you do the reverse, you're going to arch your spine up and you're going to lift the core, the front core of the body. Let your head just hang down. And feel the breath move right into the abdomen. You can feel the abdomen retracting. Good. The opposite movement again, arch the spine down. So the belly skin is expanding, and especially when you inhale, you can feel that movement. Lifting your spine, retracting the belly. Good, and then back to a neutral position. We're going to start to swing the hips from side to side. Swing the hips and then make some more wave-like movements all the way up the spine, even to the neck, from side to side. So lateral, sideways, spinal wave. Even just wriggle around, feeling all of that lovely, supple and subtle movement. Good. And then take your knees out wide and forward virasana. And again, we're aware of our contact with the floor. And from that support, feeling the back torso broaden and lengthen. Feeling the flow of the breath. Good, and then elbows down onto the floor so that your forearms are parallel. Walk your knees back a little. We're gently going to stretch the chest towards the front of the leg. And you might find some resistance here in the shoulders, and especially if you're vulnerable in the shoulders, if you've had an injury, really take it carefully. Let the shoulders keep broadening, the space between the shoulder blades broaden. Let the chest move towards the floor. And following that satisfying breath, if you can keep the back of the neck long and relaxed. Feel the bones of your upper back embedding into the front of the torso so that there's a spaciousness around the heart. Good. And then we're going to lift up onto our hands, walk the knees forward a little so you can tuck your toes under. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, knees off the floor, lift the hips high. Take the sit bones back to the walls behind or wall behind you. Draw the shoulder blades broad. Let the head just hang down. Press your heels. Mm. Good. And then we're going to walk the feet forward. See if you can take those little steps and try to feel your hamstring stretch as you walk forward. And rolling up. We're going to bring the arms behind and hold your wrists or forearms, elbows. Some might be able to do prayer position. But we're finding a back bend feeling for the upper back. We're going to start to bend forward and then lift up and keep going. So as you exhale, reach forward, roll your knees, or bend your knees to roll the spine up and look up. We'll do that with the breath. As you exhale, forward bend. As you inhale, feel the lift of the spine. Because you've got the arms linked behind, feel the bones of the upper back embedding forward. Even try and keep that shape as you forward bend. Finding the flow, the wave-like movement of the breath and your spine. Good. We're going to lift up. Hold that position. You might swap your arms over to the other arm on top. Good. Now we're going to keep doing that, forward and lifting, but we're going to go to reach out to the left leg and then lift up, and then reach out to the right leg and lift up. We're going to keep alternating from side to side. So as you exhale, reaching over your left leg and then rolling back up. As you inhale, feel that lovely shape in your upper back. As you exhale, reaching over your right leg and inhale. Good. Couple more on each side. Last cycle now. Good. We're going to come up to standing to Tadasana. Release your arms. Bring your hands in front of your heart and press them. And we're pressing them to start engaging the muscle in the back of the upper arm. And we're feeling that shape in the upper back where we're not making a stegosaurus back, but the bones of the spine are reaching forward. Now we're going to step whichever foot back so that you're standing parallel to the long edge of your mat. You can see your device and turn your toes in. Good. We're going to keep the arms like this. And we're going to keep an awareness to the upper back. And we're going to start to go forward and then lift up again. So exhaling to reach forward. Roll your spine up. Find that beautiful posture in your upper back, space around your heart. Good. And again, forward. And lifting up. Inhale. Okay. We're going to start going sideways as well. So as you bend forward now, reach towards your left foot. Lifting up. Now we're going to reach towards the right. Inhale, lifting up. Nice work. Let's go forward again to the center. Great. We're going to go left, right, and center. the awareness in the upper back, the shape that your body is there. Does it feel really satisfying around your heart? Satisfying breath. Remember, back to center, you'll see that you're starting to improve your movement. Good. So we're going to do one more. And right side. So you might be moving at a different rate to me. And then lastly, center, and we're going to hold and release the arm. Release your hands to the floor under your shoulders. You can wiggle your heels out a little bit more and really stretch the outside of your feet. We're going to lift the kneecaps, lift the inner arches of the feet, lift the sit bone, and lift the breastbone and look forward. Find the middle back. Find between the shoulder blades, reaching forward. Good. And then we're going to roll up. Look up. Nice work. We're going to step the feet back to Tadasana, mountain pose. You can jump or stand, whatever feels appropriate this morning. Sorry, I have a sniffy nose. Tadasana. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Press them. Feel the feet grounded. The lift of the legs, the front of the legs, the spine. Shape in your upper back. Good. We're going to step our feet apart for Trikonasana, so about your own leg length. Turn I'll look opposite to you, your left foot out at 90 degrees and your right foot in. We're going to take the arms out from the shoulders, and for Trikonasana, reach your left hand out onto your left leg and your right arm up. Now, you don't have to go too far. We're going to really work on this awareness of feeling grounded in the feet. So really find the surface area of your feet in contact with the floor, but also feeling the spring in the inner arches. Lift the kneecaps. Your legs feel strong. Good. We're going to take the right ribs back. So the heart feels open. And then we're going to really try and even up the sides of the waist. So just notice if your right ribs, the ones up to the ceiling, are making a bit of a rainbow shape. See if you can draw them into the core of the body, lengthening the left waist. And with each breath, feel that movement in the diaphragm, base of the ribs. When you inhale, really trying to expand the ribs. And as you exhale, feeling the diaphragm move into the chest cavity. There's a little bit more room for you to move, to lengthen the spine. Feel grounded. Good. We're going to really switch on the awareness of the core of the body, pelvic floor, lower front abdomen, so that when you lift up, there's a lot of muscular support. Nice work. Keep the arms out, turn the feet to the second side. All right, we're going to reach into Trikonasana, but not too far. Right hand down onto the right leg, left arm up. Remember, you can always put that hand on your hip if you have trouble with the shoulder movement. Good. Feel the grounding of your feet. Not just the contact, but also the spring. Those parts of your feet that lift away from the floor. Lift the kneecap. Lengthen the spine. just double check. Have you got that rainbow shape happening with the left ribs? See if you can reach them down so that the right waist lengthens. We'll take the left hip back, open the heart to the ceiling, breathing deeply. Ah. Find the breath. Feel the movement of the diaphragm. Good. Now awareness in the core of the body, the connection of your feet to the floor, and lifting up. Nicely done. This time we're going to turn the feet so that the toes are turning out. Bring the hands back in front of the heart. Press them. Bend the knees. So the hips sink, but we want to feel like we've got real internal muscular support. So squeeze the pelvic floor. Lift the lower front abdomen. Good. And then we're going to go side to side by straightening one leg and bending the other. Feel the connection. There's parts of your foot that are in connection with the floor. And also the spring, the feeling of lift, of being ready for movement. Side to side. Feel the bones of the upper back embedding forward. Nice. Back to center. And straighten up your leg. Ooh. Jump or stamp or step. Tadasana. We're going to have feet under the hips. The feet are parallel. Hip width. Legs are parallel. Take the arms up by the ears. Urdhva Hasana. Looking up. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Press the hands. Feel the upper body engaged, aware, neck relaxed. Good. We're going to step the feet out. You can jump or stand, whatever feels good. A little bit wider for Virabhadrasana sequence. We'll turn the left foot out at 90 degrees, the right foot in, and bend your left leg. Let's take the arms out from the shoulders. And we're going to reach over the bent leg, so out to your left, but then reach back and look back. Good. Then reaching out over your left leg. And then reach back. We're going to get a nice flowing feeling for the spine. Almost a serpentine movement. Feel that muscular support where you really need it here in the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen. So the core of the body is truly supporting. You get this lovely feeling of sinuous movement, but it's from real support, strength. Good. Feel the groundedness of the feet. Nice. Bring the torso upright. We're going to reach back into the right fingertip. Turn your whole torso to look right, and then just turn your head to look left. Draw the shoulder blades down. So you're dropping the hips, but lifting the lower front abdomen, the internal core, pelvic floor. Breathing. Feeling the contact of your feet. Excuse me. Nice work. Come up to center. We're going to turn to the second side. So we've got the right heel lining up with the center of the left foot inner arch. We've got the right knee bent. finding your feet. Good. And then we're going to start that lovely serpentine or wave-like movement from side to side. Now, we're vulnerable here because we're dropping the hips, and if we're extra flexible and there's no muscular support, then you're putting too much strain on the internal muscle, tendon, and ligaments. So really lift the pelvic floor. So that your movement feels like it has ease through strength, through awareness. You're aware of the shape of your upper back, not rounding forward. Good, and we're going to lift the torso up, perpendicular to the floor. Arms are reaching out. Turn your whole torso to look back over your left fingertips, and then just your head to look over your right fingertips. Feel that lift of the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen, the connection of your feet to the floor. Good, and then inhale. And coming up. Turn your feet to the front. We're going to turn the toes in. Press the outside edges of the feet. Good. Take your arms up by your ears. Look up. Forward bend. Bring the hands onto the floor under your shoulders. If you don't reach, hold your leg. Good. But this time we're going to stretch, walk the hands out as far as you possibly can in front. And we'll try and bring the ears lining up with the biceps. Lift the kneecaps, the quadriceps. And you might be at full stretch and everything might be challenged. But see if you can get a little bit of easy movement into your ribs by lifting left ribs, then right ribs. Just a little wriggle around in your rib cage. Checking that you feel free in your upper back. And then reach your arms a little bit further forward. Lift the kneecaps, keep them lifting, strong legs. Good. And then bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. And we're going to sit down from here. So you're going to decide how that happens. I'm going to try and jump into a little squat and then sit. I like the sitting possibilities. Let's make some spinal curvy, what am I trying to say? Circles of the ribs around the hips. The possibilities of a sitting sequence. And it doesn't have to be onto the floor if that's just not working yet. It can be just thinking about how you sit when you sit into a chair and how you get out of the chair. You might try not using your hands if it's safe. Good. And then we'll come back to center. I went in the other direction and forgot to say. All right, a little bit of spinal wave forward and back. And as you're waving here, feeling your contact with the floor. So what you're finding in this practice is that the support underneath whatever part of the body allows us to really find our strength and ease. Something to resist. All right, so we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And you can put your feet further out in front if that's more comfortable. We're going to try and press the knees down towards the floor. And I know most people, knees are going to sit somewhere here. So you could put your hands underneath. A really good variation is to do this if you've got blocks underneath your knees and you can press them down. But just sit up tall, but relax in your shoulders. And we're going to try and press the knees down against the hands. Really pressing. Try to just resist with your arms. And not be tense in your upper body, but really press the knees. Good. And then you're going to relax. If you need to stay holding under your knees, do so. Otherwise, move your hands somewhere around your ankles or on the floor behind your hips. And just let the muscles that you were using relax. Good. And then we're going to do that again. So holding underneath your knees. Try and stay as relaxed as you can in your upper body. They're just there to resist. We haven't got blocked. All right. And pressing your knees down against your resistance. And you press any amount. Good. And then completely relax. And as you let go of tension, just discovering all the muscle in the body. And it might not just have been around the hips, might be in the shoulders or elsewhere. And relaxing. Letting the knees sit towards the floor, wherever works for your hips. And you can always put your hands underneath your knee. We're going to swing both of the feet around to the right. Take your blanket support under just your left hip bone. The feet are right. I'm sorry, I look opposite to you. Feet are right and blanket is left. And you fold the feet together in the way that feels best for your knee. Classically, your right foot would be underneath and the top of your left foot would be sitting in the sole of your right foot. Don't get too hung up on that. So long as your knees are comfortable. All right, we're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. So your torso is turning away from the side your feet are on. Bharadvajasana. Look for the lift of the spine. The relaxed feeling in your neck. Turning to look over your left shoulder. Finding the flow of your breath. And as you let go of the breath and the diaphragm recedes into the chest cavity, notice how you can stretch the belly more. Good. And then releasing and come back to center. And we're going to swap the feet over to the other side. Another opportunity for appreciating your movement, even if it feels awkward. Enjoy that it's working. All right, so classically, your left foot would be under and the top of your right foot would be sitting into the sole of your left foot. But ideally, it's what works for your knee. We're going to turn to the right side. So use your left hand onto your right leg and lift your spine. Feel the part of the body that's grounded, the substance of the body. And let your spine turn from there. Find the breath, the movement of the diaphragm. And as you exhale, feel the diaphragm receding into the chest cavity and see how you can stretch your belly. Finding your control. That movement into the unknown, into the possibility of your body. And then release back to center. And we're going to lay down on the mat. And again, just noticing your movement. Maybe you use your hands. How do you use your hands? Another opportunity to appreciate your body and your movement. Okay, we're going to lay down, no equipment underneath, and palms of the hands down, soles of the feet in contact with the floor, feet parallel, legs parallel, spine long. We're going to lift just the breasts, wrong word, lift just the tailbone. So the lower back is really in contact with the floor. And the belly is relaxed. Good, and then bone by bone. And as you lift, filling each part of the spine, movable, supple. Good, we're going to lower down. I can hear the floorboards creaking under me. The tailbone up, press your lower back. Let your belly feel that lovely hollow sensation as the gut sinks back to the back of the body. Good, and then bone by bone. We feel the connection of the feet to the floor and the power in the legs and buttocks as you lift. But we're looking for each little bit of movement that we can along the length of the spine. Come back down when you're ready. Bone by bone, we've got time for one more lift. So enjoying your connection to the floor, the power of your legs and buttocks as you lift, ability to keep your limbs parallel, and that movement, all of that aware, supple and subtle movement. Great. We're going to take the arms straight out from the shoulders, walk the feet together, knees together. Just let the knees sway a little bit from side to side, so not all the way to the floor yet. Aware of the core of your body. front, the side, the back, all working to create support. So as you start to swing your legs a little bit further, you've got lots of muscular support, awareness. Take the knees all the way down to the floor now, whatever side you're on. Good, and when you lift up, you feel that support. Take your knees all the way to the floor on the other side, lifting up and feeling the support. Beautiful. Knees into your chest and relax your belly. Taking some deep breaths. Good, and if you'd like to stay in your own Shavasana, you could put your legs out now and thank you. And namaste. If, like me, you need to finish your practice, we're going to roll over to the side and come up to sitting. Bring the hands together. The feeling with you. Namaste.